Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Southeast Louisiana. I'm Reverend Larrye-Marie Heyl, the spiritual director here, and we are a group of radically inclusive spiritual renegades, healing hearts and creating community. And we embrace conscious spiritual living, encouraging everyone to live in enthusiastic expectancy of their own abundance and good. Today, we're continuing our November series of A Grateful Heart, and our message today is an attitude of gratitude. It's all about how we paint our world and how we experience what we expect, that the world I see is the world in me. So stay with us as we talk about how to experience peace and love, joy and gratitude throughout each day. Let's begin with prayer. We just take a deep, nourishing breath, and we settle into that place within us where we know our higher good, our higher self, that divine, that infinite, the guide, whatever it is that you call it. And we know that all the love and joy and peace and ease and grace is living right within us. Expressions of the divine. And what I know to be the truth is that we are each here by divine appointment, watching this service because there is something in this service about having an attitude of gratitude that is going to expand our spiritual territory, allow us to know the greater way that we can feel connected with all that God is. It might be in the music or the message or the reading. It could be in just a quote or in all of those things or some of them. It makes no difference. We are here because we are part of this one life that's God's life, and we want to experience this community together. So it's with great gratitude of knowing that the God without is the God within each of us, knowing that our hearts are creating a web of love to surround this world, that I release my words into that law of mind, spirit, and action, knowing the truth, that God has already called it good, that the divine has already said yes, which is all that ever is said to our request. So knowing that, I let it be. I say amen, and we affirm it together. And so it is. And it's easy to have an attitude of gratitude when we notice how many things we have for which to be grateful. This song that Gary Lynn Floyd is singing is a reminder to be grateful. And it's called, I'm So Grateful.
That time, sing this with me. It's a song I wrote with my buddy Jamie Lula. It's easy. Sing this part. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Yeah. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. We'll come back to that part. That's your part. Sunshine, your eyes, dewdrops and dragonflies. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Sing with me. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. So grateful. Your hug, sweet kiss, holding hands in blind bliss. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 The shadows I conceal endeavor to reveal another part of me, embracing all that I perceive. Yeah, yeah. Cut grass, jasmine blooms coming in the spring, honeysuckle in your room. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Sing it with me. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Keep it going. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Claim it. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. So grateful. So grateful. I love you.
So this is our time for celebration and healing. Our time in our service where we celebrate life and we pray for people who desire prayer. We begin with celebration, so I invite you to say aloud, so that the whole universe can hear it, any event in your life for which you're grateful and joyful this week. And now we turn to the healing portion of our service. We're a community steeped in healing. So we pause now to pray for anyone who's not feeling the joy of life that we perhaps were just feeling. They're not feeling maybe that they have things to celebrate. And I truly love this part of our service because it's so in alignment with who we are. So let's pray. God is all there is. God is that love and that peace and ease and grace and freedom and so much more. And as an individual expression of the divine, each of us have within us all of these qualities of spirit. They're available to us right here and right now. And what I know to be the truth is that there are people on this planet right now that aren't embracing those qualities. So we stop for a moment and we create a circle of love. And in this community, we place in that circle of love anyone that we recognize within ourselves or for someone else that might need prayer. So I'm going to pause and I just invite you to say aloud the names of all of those people that you want to include in our circle of love. I know that God is right where each of us happens to be, right here and right now, moving in, through, and as each of us. And I know that the divine has heard every name that we spoke, either in our hearts or aloud. And what I'd like you to do now is pause again, and from your heart to all of theirs, just send out love, knowing that the divine knows exactly how to distribute it. And what I know to be the truth is that anything that needs to be released within each of these people is being released now, be it disease of the mind, of the body, of the soul. I know that anything that's seeking to come forth and be lifted up can be lifted up. And that this release and this lifting up is healing whatever's called to be healed. I know that each of these people is feeling more deeply their connection with the divine right now. I have evidence of that, and I know it to be the truth for everyone that we place in our circle. So I'm so grateful to know that the God without is the God within me. The God without is the God within every person in our circle, every person in this community, and every person on this planet. And I'm grateful for that power of community prayer and what it means to the uplifting of the people on this planet. So it's from all that gratitude that I release this prayer into the law of mind, spirit, and action. Because I know that the divine, in all of its wisdom, has already called all of this good. Any heavy lifting that needs to be done to heal whatever needs to be healed, the divine has already taken care of. So I can just know it's already done, say amen, and together we can affirm it. And so it is. I invite you to join me for our community affirmation. My life's purpose is already within me, and I am committed to its unfoldment. I am here by divine appointment to join in a community that cares for one another, to be in a place that transforms people's lives, to remember the highest truth about myself, to learn spiritual tools for personal transformation, and thus to make the world a more joyful place. So this is our time for meditation. And I just invite you to release any of the past, to forget about the future for a few minutes, and just be in the now. As we move into this time of allowing all the good that is flowing in through and as us, as our fabulous CSL music team sings this beautiful song called All Good, All Good, Holy, Holy. And to live consistently with an attitude of gratitude requires us to recognize that our attitude comes from within us. And it's a choice that we make each and every day. So as you sit in the softness of this time, realize that your good is right where you are. Allow yourself to know you're good, to feel it, and to listen to the divine who always guides you to that good, to you choosing a life where you are absolutely the artist of each of your days. In 2 Corinthians 9-11, we read this: you will be enriched in every way, to be generous in every way. And as we return to this time and space, recognize within you where it is that you know the essence of your gratitude, of your own generosity, where you absolutely know that you can come from an attitude of gratitude at any time. So enjoy the ending of our meditation. Again, knowing all of your good is right where you are.
I'm Nancy Wirtz, and today I'm reading from Find and Use Your Inner Power by Emmett Fox. Only your own thoughts. No matter what the problem you may have to face today, there is a solution because you have nothing to deal with but your own thoughts. As you know, you have the power to select and control your thoughts. Difficult though it may be at times to do so. As long as you think that your destiny is in the hands of other people, the situation is hopeless. People say, it's useless for me to struggle because of such and such a reason. If only I had a profession. If only I had married someone else. If only I had not bought this business. If only I had gone abroad when I had the chance. And so on and so on. But this is a vital mistake because you have nothing to deal with but your own thoughts. Remind yourself of this fact and remind yourself constantly. Repeat it to yourself 100 times a day until you really do begin to grasp that all that it means to you. Write it down where you will see it often. Have it on your desk or wherever you work. Hang it on your bedroom. You will easily see it. Write it in your pocketbook. Write it on your soul. By constantly dwelling upon it, it will transform your life. It will lead you out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. It will bring you to God.
I love this song that Karen Drucker brings to us because it truly is a choice of consciousness for us to live in an attitude of gratitude. Enjoy the words as you sing along.
What do I want my day to be? I choose What do I want to feel today? I choose. And what do I want to say today? I choose. Here's the thing. It's up to me to choose. I choose. I choose. All right, now you can get up, you can dance around, do whatever you want. But I want you to sing with me. It's real easy. I'll teach you to. It goes like this. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today, I choose to be grateful, grateful. That's your part. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today, I choose to be grateful, grateful. How about happy? Today, I choose to be happy, so happy. Today, I choose to be happy, happy. How about peaceful? Today, I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful. Today, I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Now here's the thing. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want 'cause it's all up to me. Today, I choose to be loving, so loving. Today, I choose to be loving. How about joyful? Today, I choose to be joyful, so joyful. Today, I choose to be joyful. Pick your own word here. Today, think about what you want to claim. I choose, put it right here. To be. Today, I choose what? To be present, happy, whatever. Today, pick another word. I choose to be. Whatever you say is how your day's going to manifest. Today, I choose to be. Now whatever I choose is how my day's going to be. I claim what I want 'cause it's all up to me. You know it's all up to me. Today, I choose to be thankful, so thankful. Today, I choose to be thankful, so I be grateful. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today, I choose to be grateful, to be grateful, to be grateful. Big finish now. To be grateful. And so it will be.
I'd like to thank our reader, Nancy Wirtz, and our fabulous musicians today, which include Karen Drucker, Gary Lynn Floyd, and our CSL music team. I live in gratitude every day for the readers and the musicians and all the people that help with our service each week. We're continuing our November series, A Grateful Heart, learning how to truly live from a place of gratitude and embrace our talk title today, which is An Attitude of Gratitude. This time of year, when the farmers are harvesting their crops and the leaves are falling, we can look around and see abundance everywhere. And I'm curious about how you view your life. Are you grateful for what you have or sad about what you lack? Because attitude is all about you and how you see your world. Our harvest dinner was Friday night, and we had an opportunity to be in community in person, to break bread together and laugh and share gratitudes of our various lives. We had a great time with the auctions and the raffles. It was a wonderful event. And as I observed it, I could see an attitude of gratitude everywhere I looked. And those who participated enjoyed the opportunity to be in a loving and accepting place. Did you enjoy hearing other people's stories about gratitude in their life? If so, tune in next week because I taped quite a few of them, and I'll be sharing them with you next week in the service. And of course, we always have the question of the week. What is that one choice that you can make today to do or be the person who always comes from a place of knowing that your attitude about gratitude is a matter of your own consciousness? One more time. What is the one choice that you can make today to do or be the person who always comes from a place of knowing your attitude of gratitude is a matter of your own consciousness? Life is a journey, a traveling from birth in this lifetime to whatever is next. And we actually have two journeys happening simultaneously, the outer one and the inner one. The outer one is our history. We go there, to the store, to the school, to grocery shop, to home. We do this, we work, we play, we rest, we worry. We have friends, relationships, pets. That's the outer story. But the outer journey is not the deepest one. The inner journey is our deeper one. How life is changing us, who we're becoming, how we're growing or evolving, deepening, awakening. Mark Nepo wrote, "To journey without being changed is to be a nomad. To change without journeying is to be a chameleon. To journey and be transformed by the journey is to be a pilgrim." Talking about pilgrims is perfect for this month of Thanksgiving, where we celebrate with family and with friends, giving thanks as the pilgrims did so many years ago. And we're all pilgrims, walking to the heart of life itself. Ernest Holmes says that life is an endless journey. And on that endless journey, it's good for us to allow more divine nature spiraling up to a greater awareness of this fact. God is who we are. What does that have to do with having an attitude of gratitude? Part of blessing what has been is to see and feel the change, the transformation that is worked in us. When we have an attitude of gratitude, we learn to acknowledge the self that is whole, that is love, that is joy, the self that doesn't need to settle or play small. That self invites us to have an attitude of gratitude in all of our life. And the best thing about our spiritual philosophy is at any moment we can choose to have a new beginning. After all, the New Thought movement is about having a new thought about life. If we let that new thought reach into the spiritual truth of us to remind us that we always have been whole, unique, perfect, and loved by life itself, how can we not be grateful? If we let that new thought reawaken in us the knowing of who we really are, ageless and deathless, beautiful, powerful, immortal, abundant beings, undefined by conditions. Undefined by conditions. Then in any circumstance, you can find something for which to have gratitude. Many of you know that my son lost his battle with diabetes and is no longer a physical body on this planet. And even on the evening when I was informed of his transition, I still could have an attitude of gratitude because my faith allowed me in that moment to live in the inner journey, not the outer one. To know that there was a transformation, an awakening happening within me, and I could journey along that path. I could see in that inner journey that his heaven birthday was a blessing for him because he was feeling no more pain or dis-ease, and a blessing for me in a way that I could be closer to him than I was when he lived thousands of miles away. This month I have, as I always do, encouraged people to have a gratitude journal. The benefits of such a journal are numerous, with the main one being that it allows us to see how great our lives can be. Download the one available from our website because it includes daily affirmations. And start today and use it for 30 days, even though you might have missed the first 20 days of November. Just go through December 20th using the affirmations. This journal is an opportunity to create a practice of remembering that there is no spot where God is not, and to record those events that brought us a bit of joy each day. And if you're having trouble finding something to be grateful for, use your journal to look back through previous days. Did you know that there's scientific research on the benefits of gratitude? People who are grateful are happier, healthier, more optimistic, more spiritual. They have greater self-esteem and more energy and better sleep. I don't have time to list all the areas in which gratitude is beneficial, but I'm going to put a summary page up on the website if you're interested. Be sure to go out and look and download it. The bottom line is this: we can always choose an attitude of gratitude no matter what the circumstance. Let me repeat that. We can always choose an attitude of gratitude no matter what the circumstance. And here are a few of my best practices that help you live with an attitude of gratitude. Start becoming aware of the difference between your experience in the moment and your head trips, the inner versus the outer world. And become aware of the difference between what is actually happening and what your mind is making up about what is happening. They're not always the same. And if you're not feeling peaceful because of a certain situation, ask yourself if what you believe is absolutely true. And then practice breathing and being in the moment. One of my life's greatest lessons was learning to breathe through those times when my outer journey was sending me signals that were making my inner journey one that was less than peaceful and perhaps even painful. So let's practice that for a moment. Right now, just breathe into your body and be aware of how it feels. Don't try to analyze or judge or change your breath. Don't try to make references to the past or plans for the future. Just allow a pure moment of awareness of your breath, the sounds, the energy, the thoughts that occur as you just breathe. Often we get stuck in these bodies of ours and stuck in the past. that outer world part of our journey. And I want to encourage you to avoid writing the old script of your life over and over and over again. Start to become aware of reacting in the old ways from habit rather than from an attitude of gratitude. Stop believing that ego story your mind tells you over and over again. Absolutely stop believing how separated, poor, abandoned, rejected, limited, fearful, or victimized you are. Rather, create a new script for gratitude. I began by saying that life is a journey, that we travel from birth in this lifetime to whatever is next. And in our philosophy, we believe that God is in everything. Not just in the things that fit into our idea of right or wrong, but in all things, including the things that irritate us and those circumstances which appear to challenge our sense of peace and calm. It's all part of divine order, of the holy, holy. What I've noticed in my life is that the things that irritate me or draw me from my joy are usually about my own expectations about how life or other people should be. I'm living in judgment mode, and my attitude is far from gratitude. The late, great John O'Donohue, in To Bless the Space Between Us, wrote this: each of us is an artist of our days. The greater our integrity and awareness, the more original and creative our time will become. Wow, each of us is an artist of our days. I wonder how often we think about that. Realize that every comment, every action, every thought is creating our day, molding our time for that day as happy or sad, relaxing or stressful, loving or not, and allowing us to experience either an attitude of gratitude or one of thanklessness, ungratefulness, even resentment. I'm curious, if you were to create your perfect day, what might it look like? Think about that for a few seconds. Design your perfect day. Now I have another question. How many of you actually included pain or sickness in any form at any level in your perfect day? I can't see you, but I rather doubt that anyone included suffering or pain in their perfect day. No one likes to suffer. No one enjoys pain. Yet we often allow our thoughts and our minds to take us to places that bring pain into our lives. We get aggravated about politics, war, environmental issues, about our partners or our roommates. We hang on to some hurt or to anger. We gossip or we play the victim. We're hard on ourselves about things that we did or didn't do, got done or didn't get done, or about things we did that we thought might have been inconsiderate or unkind. How many of you wake up each day and your first thought is something like, oh, I didn't really get enough sleep last night, or I don't have enough time today to get all of the things done that I need to get done, or I'm not looking forward to today because you fill in the blank. There is some truth to the belief that past experience of others somehow are passed down and consciously or unconsciously accepted and ultimately acted upon by the innocent recipient, us. And you can choose, because your parents or teachers were a certain way, that these ideas are seeds planted that you will always and in all ways harvest in some way, shape, or form. Or you can know that your future, your fortunes, even your losses, all begin in your own consciousness. So I invite you to run when someone starts predicting any future difficulties for you. If we are truly the artist of our days, we can choose negativity, but why would we? And why would we allow someone else to predict such a future for us? I don't ask the why question very often, and I want you to consider how often in the last week, or maybe even in the last month, that you actually chose to be negative or in pain. It might have been an unconscious choice. How often did you choose to complain or be upset about some circumstance in your life? And just to be clear, I'm not asking you to ignore your emotions or physical pain that shows up for you. I just am inviting you to breathe and check out those times when your peace is disturbed. And what if each night when you went to bed, you decided to really release the day, to release the good, the bad, the ugly of it, give it all over to God so that you could start out the next day renewed? If you truly embrace that all is in divine order, let the day go. Kevyn Aucoin, an author and a photographer, a makeup artist, wrote this: "Today I choose life. Every morning when I wake up, I can choose joy, happiness, negativity, pain, to feel the freedom that comes from being able to continue to make mistakes and choices. Today I choose to feel life, not to deny my humanity, but embrace it." We can and must expect greater good. Wake up choosing joy and feeling all of life, embracing our humanity, if that is what we desire to experience. In the play Evan Hansen, the scene where he's writing in his journal in the morning is quite profound. He's sitting on his bed and you hear him saying, "Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be a great day because..." Imagine our life if instead of waking up with the dread of a new day, you woke up like Evan, knowing that today is going to be a great day, and you affirmed what it is you want to have happen. I invite you to try it for a week. And by the way, as soon as you ask, the divine steps in to fulfill your request. So ask for your good. Know that your day is going to be great. Wake up with an attitude of gratitude for all the good that you're expecting to show up for you that day. Ernest Holmes, in the Ideas of Power, wrote this: "God is a divine presence, inhabiting eternity and indwelling in our own heart." So let us remember the God that dwells in our hearts and have an attitude of gratitude for all of the circumstances of our lives, especially on those days where it might feel easier to complain. In Genevieve Begren's book, Your Invisible Power, The Mental Science of Thomas Troward, she writes this: "There is nothing unusual or mysterious in the idea of your pictured desire coming into material evidence. Everything in the whole world, from the hat on your head to the boots on your feet, has its beginning in mind and comes into existence in exactly the same manner. All are projected thoughts solidified. everything happens twice, once in mind and then in the outer experience. Our fortune, our future, is always the self-contemplation of the one. And it is all initiated in our mind. And yet, how often are we surprised when something that we desire actually manifests? I'm sure you're all familiar with the domino effect. You place dominoes in a row, knock the first one down, and they tumble one right after the other. There is such a thing as the spiritual domino effect, which is the rule, not the exception. Have you ever considered that your biggest investment opportunity is sitting squarely on your shoulders? How are you using your mind to manifest an attitude of gratitude? To start the dominoes falling so that your spiritual life is blessed and more blessed every day. There was a story in the 1956 version of Reader's Digest, The Thanksgiving I Don't Forget. Gordon tells how he grew up in Canada on a farm, and he and his siblings had to hurry home from school every day when the other children played ball or went swimming. Their father, however, had the capacity to help them understand that their work amounted to something. This was especially true at harvest time when the family celebrated Thanksgiving. On that day, their father gave them a great gift. He took inventory of everything they had. And on Thanksgiving morning, he would take them to the cellar with its barrels of apples and bins of beets and carrots and mountains of sacked potatoes, peas, corn, string beans, jellies, strawberries, and other preserves which filled the shelves. He had the children count everything carefully. Then they went out to the barn and figured out how many tons of hay there were and how many bushels of grain was in their granary. They counted the cows, the pigs, the chickens, the turkeys, the geese. Their father said he wanted to see how they stood. But they knew he wanted them to realize on that feast day how richly God had blessed them and had smiled upon them all their hours of work. So finally, when they sat down to the feast their mother had prepared, the blessings were something they felt. Gordon mentioned in the story, however, that the Thanksgiving that he remembered most was the year they seemed to have nothing for which to be grateful. The year had started off well. They had leftover hay, lots of seed, 4 litters of pigs, and their father had a little money set aside so that someday he could afford to buy a hay loader, a wonderful machine that most farmers just dreamed of owning. It was also that year that electricity came to their town, although not to them because they couldn't afford it. So one night when Gordon's mother was doing her big wash, her father stepped in and took his turn over the washboard and asked his wife to rest and do her knitting. He said to her, "You spend more time doing the wash than sleeping. Do you think we should break down and get electricity?" Although elated at the prospect, she shed a tear or two as she thought of the hay loader that wouldn't be bought. So the electrical line went up their lane that year. Although it was nothing fancy, they acquired a washing machine that worked all day by itself and brilliant light bulbs that dangled from each ceiling. There were no more lamps to fill with oil and no more wicks to cut, no more sooty chimneys to wash. The lamps went quietly off to the attic. The coming of electricity to their farm was almost the last good thing that happened to them that year, because just as the crops were starting to come through, the rain started. And when the water finally receded, there wasn't a plant left anywhere. So they planted again, but the rains beat the crops into the earth. Their potatoes rotted in the mud. They sold a couple of cows and all the pigs and other livestock that they had intended to keep, getting very low prices for them because everybody else had to do the same thing. All they harvested that year was a patch of turnips, which had somehow weathered the storm. And then it was Thanksgiving. And their mother said, maybe we'd better forget it this year. We haven't even got a goose left. But on Thanksgiving morning, Gordon's father showed up with a jackrabbit and asked his wife to cook it. Grudgingly, she started the job, indicating that it would take a long time to cook that tough old thing. When it was finally on the table with some of the turnips that had survived, the children refused to eat. Gordon's mother cried, and their father did a strange thing. He went up to the attic, got an oil lamp, took it back to the table, and lit it. He told the children to turn out the electric lights, and when there was only the lamp again, they could hardly believe it, how dark it had been. They wondered how they ever had seen anything without the bright lights that were made possible by electricity. And as they began to remember, the food was blessed and everyone ate. When dinner was over, they all sat quietly. And Gordon recalls that in the humble dimness of the old lamp, we were beginning to see clearly again. It was a lovely meal. The jackrabbit tasted like turkey, and the turnips were the mildest we could recall. Our home, for all its wants, was so rich to us. When you were little, most of your decisions and choices were made for you. You most likely had little control over where you lived, what you had to eat, what you did for the holidays. Your parents or guardians made those decisions for you. And now, as an adult, you get to make those choices. You get to picture what you desire to have in your world. And you get to use your own mind to determine what you want to place at the head of that spiritual domino effect of blessings. Imagine life if we looked at our younger years and then noticed all the blessings in our life since those days. When I was young, the idea of a watch where we could communicate with others was part of the Dick Tracy comic strip. And when I was studying engineering at LSU, we wrote our programs on punch cards and maybe had the opportunity to make one correction before we had to turn in the programs. It took much longer to get places because the roads were what we call the back roads now. No interstates or freeways. And air travel was for the very rich, not at all affordable for the masses. I even remember not wanting to go to my Aunt Mattie's because her house had an outhouse, no indoor plumbing. Now, many people have smart watches or smartphones, and most people have computers that are far more powerful than the IBM 360, which took up a whole room and was state-of-the-art in the 60s. And while we might complain about airports and overcrowded or canceled flights, travel around the world is possible for many people who in years past only dreamed of seeing London or Venice or Australia without it taking weeks to get there. So when we're not wanting the life that we see in front of us, perhaps we might look around, notice how far our lives have come, and how many things that are in our lives that are blessings that we take for granted because they're so familiar to us that we forget to be grateful for them. I know I'm grateful for air travel, which allows me to spend time with my children and my grandchildren who live across the country. I can't imagine making that trip in a covered wagon or even on the back roads of my youth. And it takes far too long even in today's interstates for me to be able to visit as often as I'm able to because of air travel. And when it doesn't seem that we have anything for which to be grateful, it's simply a matter of looking below the surface with an open mind and heart. Enable us to see for ourselves the abundance of gifts for which we have an attitude of gratitude. Granted, sometimes we might have to look harder for those things than at other times, and they're always there waiting to be discovered. Wow, life can be so wonderful when we allow it to be. At least that's my experience. In Creative Mind, Ernest Holmes reminds us, wake up. Your word is all powerful. Your consciousness is one with the omnipotent. Your thought is infinite. Your destiny is eternal, and your home is everlasting heaven. Realize the truth. I am living in a perfect universe. It always was perfect and always will be perfect. There never was a mistake made. There are no mistakes being made, and there never will be. I live in the great and eternal universe of perfection, from cause to effect, from beginning to end, and the world's all right, and I know it. If we keep those words in mind, there's no doubt that we can all live with an attitude of gratitude, no matter what the world is doing around us. So I invite you, when things seem to be stressful or you don't seem to have things to be grateful for, to look at how far you've come. And so in summary, how might you learn to consistently live with an attitude of gratitude? Well, remember that life is a journey, an outer and inner one. Be transformed by it. Be like the pilgrims walking to the heart of life itself. Bless what has been and what is, and expect your good. Be the artist of your day. Remember to start your day. Dear, with your name, today is going to be a great day because. And remember that your future and your fortunes begin in your own consciousness. Know that the spiritual domino effect is the rule, not the exception. Your greatest asset sits squarely on your shoulders. Notice how far you've come and be grateful. And the affirmation for the week? How is it I so easily and willingly make the choice today to do and be the person who always comes from a place of knowing my attitude about gratitude is a matter of my own consciousness. Challenge yourself to use the affirmations at least 3 times a day. Use the gratitude journal and be the artist of each of your days. Observe yourself each day, pausing to check in and notice where you might be feeling less than joyful. Then breathe and think of things for which you can be grateful. Each night, let go of the day and wake up each morning to a new beginning. Let's pray. We just take a deep, nourishing breath. We settle into that place where we know our divine guide where we know that essence of who we are, the love, the joy, the peace, the ease, the grace, the gratefulness. And what I know is that each of us is recognizing this life journey and allowing our outer journey to be impacted by an inner journey of peace and gratitude. Each of us is recognizing that we can indeed be the artist of our days and paint our days exactly the way we want them to show up. Because when we do, the divine says yes. So I am grateful. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be in gratitude for this community, for this time that we get to spend together. Grateful for the knowing that right where we are, God is. And so it's from that gratitude that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action, knowing the truth, that God's already called it good, that the words I've spoken have already been designed and manifested, so I can say amen, and we can affirm it together. And so it is. I am so grateful for the time that we've had to spend together, for the harvest dinner, for all the people that helped so much to make it a success. And I am grateful for your continued support of this community. I hope you enjoy our offertory song.
From the love of your spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me, multiplied abundantly. From the love of your spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me, multiplied abundantly. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
You can find all of the information for donating at our website at cslsoutheastla.org. You can use the donate button there, or you can use Zella or Venmo at 225-287-8887. You can text your amount to 1-225-320-5100, or you can mail your donation to CSL Southeast Louisiana, care of Reverend Larrye-Marie Heyl, 445 Magnolia Wood Avenue, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70808. We thank you for your tithes and donations, and we appreciate the fact that you are giving gifts that are flowing out to everyone we touch. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving this week. I'm knowing that your days are filled with peace and calm and love and all the energy you need to get whatever it is that you're doing. I know that Thanksgiving can be a hectic time in some families, and I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving filled with gratitude and love and joy. This song of Gary Lynn Floyd's sums up how to truly remember to live with an attitude of gratitude. It's called Fortunate. Sing along.
Good morning, Southeast Louisiana Center for Spiritual Living. I love you all. This is Gary Lynn Floyd with you again this morning. I hope you'll sing this song with me. It says, to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate. In this world that we live in right now, when it seems like it's so crazy, this is a nice thing to hang on to, for me anyway. Sing it with me. It goes like this. To be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate, sing it again, to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate. Then I'll sing the verse that goes like this. God is the boat, and God is the boatman. It's by God's grace we're gonna cross this earthly ocean. We learn our lessons from the sun. It shines equally on everyone. But when the sun don't shine, we learn it from the rain. It falls equally on everyone the same. To be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate. Oh, God is the boat, and God is the boatman. It's by God's grace we're gonna cross this earthly ocean. We learn our lessons from the sun. It shines equally on everyone. But when the sun don't shine, we learn it from the rain. It falls equally on everyone the same. To be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate, sing it with me, to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate, again, to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate, one more time, to be confident that the infinite will take care of it. We're so fortunate.
Next week, we continue our November series of A Grateful Heart with a number of gratitude stories from our community and from people in Baton Rouge. It's always wonderful during this season of Thanksgiving to count our blessings. I hope you decide to join us for some great music and some uplifting messages of Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us today. I invite you to like us on Facebook at Center for Spiritual Living, Southeast Louisiana. And please follow us on our YouTube channel at CSL SELA. And it's just about time to join in our community time, which is a live discussion that follows the service every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. You have a little bit of time to go get a cup of coffee or some tea, and then dial into our conference line. The number is 540-792-0192, and the participation code is 475220. We hope you'll join us. And so in closing, remember, Disney claims to be the happiest place on earth, but we at the Center for Spiritual Living in Southeast Louisiana know that we are absolutely the most joyful. So until we meet again, may you be wrapped in the arms of love and kindness. And may you remember each day to wake up knowing it's going to be a great day. and to always live with an attitude of gratitude, knowing that you get to choose if you ride that wave of gladness or that wave of sadness. And when we realize that we are the artist of our days and can paint them however we desire with our consciousness, what I know is we feel very much alive.
Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive, alive forevermore. Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive forevermore. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive. Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive, alive forevermore. Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My spirit is alive. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive forevermore. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. My spirit is alive.